Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Adebayo Akinfenwa, aka Mr. Beast Mode, and this is how I build my body. Alright, so today I'm working shoulders. Everybody wants big shoulders. I like big shoulders. Alright, so generally I like to superset my shoulder routine. So I'm gonna do shoulder press and then shoulder raises, which concentrates on front delts and rear delts. Alright, follow me. See me, I like to work on singular stuff mostly. So when I go into my raises, it'll be a singular raise and it'll be a singular shoulder raise, and I'll get it like that. And I generally like to do from 8 to 10 shoulder raises. That's generally singular. All right, see, for me, I guess the misconception people may have is that you always have to lift heavy. See, myself, I'm not massively on lifting heavy, and everybody's got the different ways of what works for them. My brother works me out, he likes to keep his elbows tucked in. I like mine to come out a little bit more when I raise it. So like I said, I do my raises between 8 to 10 sets of 4. And it's always about control. I'll always say, leave your ego at the door, and it's all about control. 4, 5, 6. You get this, and you don't need to lift heavy for big shoulders. And it gives you that 3D look. But then also, of course, you've got to work front and back. 9, 10, 11, 12. And like I said, I like to do singular. And the reason why, for me, I like to do singular, one, my right shoulder is slightly weaker than my left, and I feel sometimes when you do both, you kind of compensate. So I do like to go singular, so I know how strong my shoulders are, and I can feel the difference on my right all the time. So sometimes I do need to drop the weight. And like I said, leave your ego at the door, know what you're trying to do. It's you versus you. And like I said, you want to try and capture all avenues of your delts, front, rear delts. And for me, this rear delt one is my favorite. So this is when you rotate your arm, where you fit your palms facing you. You slightly hunch over. This is how I like to do it, slightly hunch over. And then it's that one. The reason why I like this, it gives you that little line at the front, but it also works in the back. And again, it's slow. And I can go slightly heavier on this one than shoulder raises. And again, I like to do singular because again, there's no overcompensating on either arm. It's that arm working. You know how strong your arm is. Again, 10 to 12, depends on how you feel. People ask why I always put my hand on my heart or on my chest. I just feel like it gives me balance. I want that 3D look on shoulders, and I like it. I'm a dumbbells individual. Some people like the machine because you're constantly under tension and under restrictions, whereas I just feel like there's something old school about dumbbells. He says working the rear delts, like I said, from 10 to 14, 10 to 12. I'll put extra 2 on because I try to gas myself, don't worry about that, from 10 to 12. All right, so I always do like to add shrugs into my routine. Shrugs is where it gives my ego a boost because it allows me to go a little bit heavy. But then what you do with shrugs, and shrugs works your traps, so it gives you that no neck look, you know what I'm saying? So I keep saying, watch my brother, he's got no neck. But the thing I love about shrugs, and what you've got to understand about shrugs as well, see, sometimes you can go into it just for where you're just pulling it, feeling like you're doing it. And I keep saying it's got to be slowed and controlled. So you push, and then it's down. These are the shrugs where you feel it at the top and then you control it down. Feel it at the top and control it down. It's the only probably thing I go heaviest on. Gives you that, again, that 3D trap look. My reps are always between 10 and 12, even with this heavy weight. Yeah. All right, so shoulder press, again, for me is one of my favorite shoulder exercises because I think it just does it all, encapsulates it all. Again, I rock from 8 to 10 reps, and depending on how I'm feeling is how the weight will fluctuate. But for me, it's that process. Again, elbows, shoulder width apart, try not to hit the weight at the top, bring it down. Again, controlled. Controlled. This is one of my favorites. Some of them, yeah, rotate it as you come down. My shoulder won't allow that. Or my elbow won't allow that. One of my favorite shoulder presses, shoulder exercises. Always slow and controlled. Put tension on the muscle. Alright, moving on to biceps. I like my biceps, and with biceps I like to chop and change between dumbbells and the machine. I like to do a double-handed bicep curl where I say you can constantly keep the tension on, and it's most importantly to not try and rotate your back, so you keep upright, core in, slow. Everything's got to be slow and precise, slow and controlled. I like to do between 10 and 12, controlled. And there's times where you want to feel and test your ego, and you'll end up using your back. It's not slow and controlled, it's your biceps. It's not a back exercise. Alright, so another variation of my bicep workout. See, it depends what kind of equipment you've got at your gym. So there's some people that use this, that's got the wire, so it makes it longer in the sense of extension when you're doing it. I actually like to do it, if you've got it in your gym, I actually like to do with this with no wire. So you see now, you stay upright, you stay tall, and you bring him, squeeze at the top. Again, all these exercises, slow and controlled. Squeeze at the top. Slow and controlled, squeeze at the top. Again, I work out my reps between 8 and 10. Try and keep your shoulders back so you don't really bend over. Stay upright. Jeez, it's a burn. All right, so we're gonna do the ropes. See, I got a love and hate relationship with the ropes because I remember doing it when I had my rehab, but the love thing about it is that it is so multifaceted. You can do so many different exercises at one time. I'm gonna show you. I said normally I like to work individually on certain, and you can do that. You can do individually on the ropes, and you can do collectively, and trust me, it's a burn as well, so it's all purpose. So all right, roll with me. So, again, like I'm saying, when you do the ropes, most importantly is you wanna squat down a little bit, and again, it's form. Alright, so then when I do ropes is another good shoulder workout, and then I love it because you can do so many different exercises in one. So I like to start off with both hands going at the same time. It's cross between cardio, but then it's, of course, you've got to sit upright, engage your core, and try and do it for 30 seconds. I try and do it for sets of 4, 30 seconds, and then you go to heavy slams. So that's madly important that you keep your core engaged and then you slam for 30 seconds. That is tiring. And then again, I like to individuate it up. I said I like to do things singular. So then I do one hand for 30 seconds and then go on to do the other hand for 30 seconds and then finish with I call it the zigzag. And that's just going, and I say it just works all the facets, areas of your shoulders. So the ropes, listen, it's a builder and it's also a cardio burn. So yeah, man. Of course, the stancing, listen, you've got to get into a more or less a squat position, engage your core, because it's all about your core, because you only want to work your shoulders, you don't want to use your back. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Adebayo Akinfenwa, aka Mr. Beast Mode, and this is how I build my body. Listen, I've got to salute the health club at the Dilly. Good looking out for taking care. Keep it beast mode. Peace.